Hello YouTubers, welcome back to my channel. As it turns out, having the exterior and interior features put together makes for a very long video, so I've separated the two. This video is the interior features of the 2021 Audi S5 Sportback Premium Plus. So sit tight and we'll go through the details of the features in this particular car. Enjoy! So stepping inside, I'll show you the dash. So this is the Premium Plus model. It does have the virtual cockpit. So on startup, let me close the door. A general description of the interior. So sitting inside, get that spacious feel, that swept-back windshield, that frameless side windows, and panoramic sunroof that allows ample light and seating. And we have fine Napa leather that's contrast stitched in a quilt design. It's seating for 5. The front seats are the sports bucket seats that have an anti-whiplash mechanism. Carbon fiber inlay goes along the whole width of the dashboard, down the center console, as well as down the side door panels. And the steering wheel is heated and has perforated leather down the side sections. To give you a little more information about the front seats, so for the driver and the front passenger, they are powered seats with these controls on the side. And controls are there to move the seat forward, back, up and down, as well as the reclining. Now these controls here are for the bolster, so people come in different sizes, and these bolsters will hug your torso, adjusting them wider or narrower. And these buttons here are for the lumbar support and lower back to go up, down, forward and back. This button is a physical button to activate the massager, and more of the controls of that appear in the MMI once that button is pressed. I'll go through that with you later. And another feature of the seats, we have these extensions that can go out for those with longer legs. So let's zip over to the back. It is a Sportback, it's a powered tailgate. It's a huge opening. The boot space is enormous. It's one of the reasons why I got this Sportback, is for the practicality. There's a net there, basket on each side. There's hooks for your shopping bags and straps to help keep your cargo in place when you're driving. LED lighting on each side. Also the privacy covers, so when the tailgate is closed, no one can see the contents of your boot. And button here to close. It does have a soft close mechanism too. I've had this car now for a couple months, but it's still taken a bit of time to get to know its features and functions. Nonetheless, it's so well designed, everything is within reach, it's just begging to be driven. Basic configuration there with the instrumentation that behind the steering wheel. Compared to the other models, the MMI screen is still above on the top part of the dash instead of below. Physical buttons and dials for the climate control, and a standard shifter instead of a toggle that the new models have. Up above is the center ceiling console. We have here the rearview mirror with the frameless design. It is auto dimming and has the compass heading display. Now for the buttons and switches on the ceiling center console, we have here the switch for the panoramic sunroof, and it's just a switch pulled back to open. and it is a decent sized opening, and then pushing the button forward to close. There is a tilt opening function, so toggle up to tilt open, and a toggle down to tilt close. It also has a powered shade, so it's a separate button for your comfort and convenience. And push back to open. Now the other buttons here, it's a switch for the lights. It is a physical button, and that button there is to switch on the lights when you open the door. This button is a maintenance request button. I'm not sure how it works yet. And there's the SOS emergency button. Now these reading lights, they don't have any mechanical or physical button there. It's just a touch sensor to switch the lights on and off. I really like how they've kept the physical buttons and dials for the climate control. These buttons down the middle are touch sensitive. You toggle them up and down to adjust the direction, the AC on and off, the fan, and the zoning here. So the sync allows you to synchronize the left and right and rear temperatures. Of course, the 3-zone allows you to control the individual zones, and then to also set the rear with the front controls. And then this is for the right side. You have the button for recirculation and an off switch for the climate controls. This button there here for the rear defroster, the front, and seat heating for the left and right. Looking down, we have the center console that's in piano black and carbon fiber inlay. The compartment has a phone box, so you can do wireless charging for your phone and other devices. And the armrest itself is also adjustable. The driver's side door panel has the controls for all the windows, as well as the side mirrors for folding and heating. Bang & Olufsen sound system, total of 19 speakers. And with the light switches we have for the fog lights and for instrumentation dimming. The steering wheel column, controls for the cruise control there, as well as the wipers. There's paddle shifters and the buttons there to control the display and volume, as well as switching on the heating for the steering wheel. It does have the 3-spoke with the perforated sides, leather wrapped. Just above the center console and below the climate control are the function buttons. So depending on the functions of your car, it will dictate the availability of that button. So the drive select will go through in detail in the MMI portion. The AF button is to deactivate the idle off feature of the car when it's at a stop. The next button is a traction control switch off button, and then the P with the triangle is a button to activate the park assist. Now when you slap it into reverse, it will automatically activate. The button on the far right is the switch on and off for the MMI. So now let's go into the details of the virtual cockpit and the MMI. My apologies for taking so long in getting this video together. I started this video way back and it's only now I'm going through the virtual cockpit and the MMI. So with this dash, the virtual cockpit, I have the setting configuration with the information that I need for just regular driving. So that's with the fuel level on the left, tachometer reading in the middle with the speedometer, as well as the selected drive. And on the right there with the date and the time. And below that we got the engine's temperature, odometer reading, the trip reading, and the outside temperature. On the bottom right you have the boost, which is helpful for when you're doing launch control. And of course all the other stuff that's at the top, meaning the range information as well as what music is playing. And also that's just to indicate what is actually being displayed on the left side. So if I shift it to the right, it tells you what music, and then you have the status of the phone connection and the navigation. So that's using these buttons here. You can also change the view if you've got in that selection by using this wheel. So if you change it to that, you can also change different bits of information. Driver assistance, of course, is going to show whatever alerts that if you're going to hit something or if there's any objects that are close to the car. It's also an indication, I think that's where it shows for the lane keeping assist, because this car does have the freeway or lane keeping assistance package in there for safety. And also I think it shows there too any alerts for when you're backing up and there's a cross traffic that's going to be in your path. Alright, so that's the changes that you can make. And also, as you can see there, you can change all the different views. Let's just get it back to that. There. And the configuration of the virtual cockpit can also be further adjusted in the MMI. So let's go to the MMI. I'm not going to go through all the details and all the buttons. I'm just going to go through the basic ones and the ones I found were useful for really just convenience and safety. So we have these buttons here that will take you to the home page, the radio selection, music, the phone, and then there's navigation. And with the navigation, you press on the search, or you can do the favorites. You can type in the destination using the QWERTY keypad, or you can put the scribble pad there. So and type in or write in the letters that way. That's with the navigation. So the other buttons, this is going to have the application button, and since I've activated the Apple CarPlay, that's why it's displaying there. Now with the vehicle settings, you got the Audi Drive Select. Now that button is also down here, so there's a physical button. When you press that, this comes along, so you can select either comfort as described. Then you got the auto, where you're allowing the car to do all the changes in gears and everything else in the settings. And with dynamic, I don't know if you noticed the sound change with the resonator, with the exhaust. So it's more the sports exhaust. And with the individual, you can edit it to your liking and just give a combination of what settings that you want for the drive, the suspension. So sport gives it more of a stiffer ride and brings it down lower. And you got the steering again as such. Now with the quiet, see if you can hear the difference. So it quietens the engine, and when present, I'm not sure what automatic does. I guess it switches opens up the valve, I guess, for the exhaust when you speed up. And there you go. So you hear the resonator there. That's for the drive select. Now the rest of the vehicle efficiency, I'm not going to go through that. If you want to go into efficient driving, you have the seats. So the physical buttons that I showed you on the side of the seats will bring up this, so you can select either wave, need, or stretch. There's just the different types of massaging, and you can select the intensity as well. There's 3 levels of it, and you can select from the left or the right. That's the front seats. It's a massaging function. There's air conditioning, it's light and visibility, all selections in that. Parking aid, that's more with the tones, the sounds, because it does beep when it's getting too close. It'll be a steady beep, and it speeds up if you're getting closer to it. And there's a driver assist. So driver assistance, it has the speed warning, traffic light information, the audio adaptive cruise control function. So you can set distances that you can be away from other cars. Distance warning comes up, and the traffic jam assist as well too. So it will actually slam on the brakes if you get too close to a car. So that's one thing you have to be careful about. Even when you're backing, and this uses that cross traffic alert when you're backing into oncoming traffic, it will slam the brakes on. So be wary of that, because it'll stop you from hitting anything. Even if it's like a pedestrian that's running across the street in front or behind you, it will slam on the brakes. That's if you're like traveling at a crawl, basically, because this does also have all that in the Audi presets. It does have active lane assist as well. And the side assist, those lights that come on the left and right rear view mirrors, it's an amber light that alerts you if there is someone or a vehicle in your blind spot. Other settings, it's just basically just the service intervals. There's a toll device in the rear view mirror in that area there. Central locking, interior monitoring. There's a garage door opener, so you can make selections or make entries if you're at different places that have a garage opener. So I've already set it for my place, so I just switch it down and I click on that house icon here at the top, and that will, well, if you click that, it'll say send home. But the settings, again, with that, you have virtual cockpit. You can set the different layouts or configuration of the display. I've got it in the S Performance. That's the one I find that's more useful. MMI, just in terms of brightness, and if you have to clean the screen, you can put the screen cleaning on so that it won't mess up when you're touching the screen with something wet. So the rest of that, entertainment, navigation, telephone, privacy, announcements, contacts, data management. So park assist button activates the cameras around the car. There's a number of views that are available. So the first one is a 180-degree front view. Next one is just a regular front view. There's the overhead or 360. There's the rear view regular, and then there's a rear view 180-degree. Also has the tire view, and this is really helpful when you're trying to get as close as you can to the curb without damaging your rims. So that's when you're moving forward, and when you're moving backwards, then you can switch to the rear wheels view. And those are the views that are available with Park Assist. Now this view here, this panel actually opens up automatically if there's any other vehicles that may be too close to your car. Those are the interior features and functions of the 2021 Audi S5 Sportback. Thanks for bearing with me. I finally got this video together. It's just that this vehicle is packed with so much technology and features. I'm completely blown away by its performance, its design, drivability, comfort, luxury, and what they've done for convenience and safety. To conclude, just a remaining footage of the interior lighting. I hope you enjoyed the video and got some useful information. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.